For our New Year's dessert, we're going to make two recipes. The first one is called energy balls, and they're a little cookie candy-like rolled ball that gives you just a little quick energy. So today we start with 1 cup of quick oats. I have a box here of quick oats, and I've measured it out into this little cup. And I'm going to pour it into my bowl. Then we have 1 cup of coconut. So we're going to put that coconut in too. And we have 1/2 cup of flaxseed that has been ground. I usually get my flaxseed like this in a little for seed, and then I grind it in my blender so it looks like this. But I know that in Hong Kong you can buy already ground flaxseed because I've bought it there before. And then we're going to have 1/2 cup of miniature chocolate chips. So here we put this in. Now this is our dry ingredients. We're going to mix them up together. And then we're going to mix our wet ingredients separately. So for our wet ingredients, we're going to have 1/2 cup of peanut butter. Here's our peanut butter already measured out. And we have 1/3 of a cup of honey. We have that measured out. And we need 1 teaspoon of vanilla. Here's our vanilla. 1 teaspoon. We'll stir those together, and then we're going to add it to our dry ingredients and just mix it all in together so that our dry ingredients are completely covered with the peanut butter, honey, and vanilla. So we begin to stir that all together. I might tell you that the miniature chocolate chips that I got say that they are dairy, nut, and soy free. However, you can get the regular kind. I just happened to pick this package up. It works with any kind. Or if you can find carob chips in Hong Kong, which I've never seen, you can use those. So you want to get them all stirred together. Don't have any loose oatmeal that hasn't gotten dampened by the wet ingredients here. I think it's all ready now, and we're going to put this, we're going to cover it with a little saran wrap, and we're going to put it in the refrigerator for 30 minutes. And while we're doing that, I will show you another recipe. Now I'm going to show you how to make fresh fruit platter pie. It's so yummy because it's made with fresh fruit, and you can use any kind of fruit that you want. And you'll see what kind I'm using today, but you can use whatever kind of fruit you want. First of all, we're going to make the pie crust. And our pie crust is made with 1/3 of a cup of oil plus 1 tablespoon. So we'll put that into our bowl. And then we want to add 3 tablespoons of water and a 1/2 teaspoon of salt. When we get all those together, then we want to take a fork and just kind of stir it like this. Kind of whip it a little bit. So our oil and water gets combined, and our salt too, before we begin adding the other ingredients. Now we're going to add 1/2 cup of whole wheat flour. Here's my whole wheat. And we're going to add 1/4 cup of white. I use unbleached white flour. To that, we're going to add 1/2 cup of wheat germ. This is how I keep my wheat germ, in a jar. It comes in a package though. You should be able to find that in Hong Kong. And we're going to add some pecans. About 1/2 cup that's been chopped up fairly fine, as you can see. We'll put that in. Then we're going to stir all this up. Oh, before we do though, we want to add 1/2 cup of coconut. That's our only sweetener in there. So this crust won't be too sweet, but it'll be sweet enough. Now you might want to use an already prepared crust. You can buy graham cracker crusts in the store, and you can buy one of those and use it for our fruit pie, so you don't have to bake anything. This we're going to pat out into our pie pan, and then we will bake it at 400 degrees for between it'll take 15 to 20 minutes, somewhere in there, to make it brown. You don't want it, you want to get it browned a little bit, but you don't want to get the edges burnt. So you have to be sure and take it out when your edges get brown enough. When you begin to think, well, if I leave it in too much longer, they're going to get burnt. So as you can see, I'm just patting this dough into this pie pan. We smooth it all out and bring it up so that it fills the bottom and the sides of the pan. You want to press it so that it sticks together. And then we will put it in the oven to bake. And I told you 400 for 15 to 20 minutes. We have our pie crust finished now, and we're going to make the filling for our pie crust. The filling calls for 1 1/4 cups of apple juice. You could probably use any other kind of juice if you want, like pineapple or white grape juice, something that's light colored though. And they want it divided because they need to mix the cornstarch in with the apple juice. So I'm putting 3/4 of a cup of apple juice into our pan. And I'm putting 1/4 of a cup of honey into our pan. And we're going to boil that. And while it's being stirred up here and coming to a boil, I'm going to add 3 tablespoons of cornstarch to the other 1/2 cup of apple juice. We're going to stir that together. Cornstarch won't stir into something that's hot, so we have to stir it into the cold apple juice while our other is boiling. Now we will take this mixture and add it to our boiling juice. And we're going to boil that until it gets clear. See, it looks like that right now, but we're going to keep boiling it till it becomes a clear liquid, or clear thickened glaze is what it's going to become. So we'll continue stirring till it's more translucent. There we have it. You can see it's no longer milky, it's more translucent. Then we're going to add 2 tablespoons of lemon juice that we've squeezed, plus 1 teaspoon of the lemon rind to that mixture. And there we have the glaze that we're going to put on our fruit. I have selected the fruit that is available right now to me to put in this pie, but you can choose whatever fruits are available to you at the time you make it. I'm putting 1 cup of blackberries. What you're going to have is a total of 6 cups of fruit. I'm putting 1 cup of strawberries that I've chopped up. I'm putting 1 cup of kiwi fruit that I chopped up. Ooh. Sometimes things don't cooperate very well. I'm putting in 1 cup of blueberries. These are all fresh fruits that I got from the store. And 1 cup of pineapple that I chopped up. So now we have 6 cups of fruit in our bowl. This is going to be the filling for our pie, but we would like to have it have this nice glaze over it. For one thing, to keep, oh, I forgot, the bananas. We were going to have 1 cup of bananas in here also. We need to keep this fruit from turning brown while it sits in the refrigerator, because you're going to let this pie sit and chill for about 4 hours. So you want to plan ahead so you have that time to let it chill. Now I'm going to put this glaze over my fruit. It is probably best to let it cool before you add it. But in the shortness of time here that I have to get this done, I am going to add it now. The fruit is cold, it's been in the refrigerator, so it should be good. In fact, I can see the glaze is getting a little thicker as I stir it into the fruit. So now we take our fruit and we put it in our pie crust. I made this pie crust ahead of time, so it is cooled down. You're not going to want to put it in a hot crust, otherwise your crust is going to get soggy. So now we'll put all this yummy fruit into this pie shell and see if we can stir it around enough so that we have some of all the fruit showing. And you can garnish it with a few mint leaves if you'd like. I didn't have any, so I just made it like this. And I think it's a beautiful pie. It probably really doesn't need any garnishing. So after you've let it chill for 4 hours, this is going to be a yummy pie to cut into and serve your guests and wish them a very happy New Year. And my husband and I are so happy to wish you a happy New Year too. Now our energy balls have sat in the refrigerator long enough. And as you see, Clem and I have been making these balls. And I just want to show you just what you do is you grab a handful of it and you just kind of squeeze it and try and make them compact so that they stay together, and then put them on your plate.
And I tell you, this is the first time I've been in the kitchen in eons, and so it truly is unskilled labor.
But we wanted to both be here to present this New Year's dessert. And so we have...
Yeah, I don't think there's enough left in here to do another one.
Well, I'm going to get one more.
Good luck.
The problem with it is, you know, it needs just a little tiny more liquid. And if I'd have realized that, I've never made them before, I would have put a little more in.
And there you are. That's
so
for your guess.
So now we have our energy balls, and we have our New Year's pie. And I want to remind you, if you aren't able to make that pie crust, then you can buy one. You may not be able to find this brand, but you'll be able to find a graham cracker crust. And you can put your pie into that crust. And so now, the two of us wish you Happy New Year's.
In Chinese.
We don't know how to say it in Chinese. How do you say it?
That's all right. I'll pass.
Okay. Bye-bye and Happy New Year.